Hey guys, morning. Our journey into the series on faith. Yesterday we spoke about what it meant to protect the seed that God has planted of faith, that He has planted into every single person's life. But I thought about this. The soil is a beautiful picture of the completeness of all that God has to offer. That seed is planted into the most phenomenal and beautiful soil. And we all know, if you're a farmer, we have many farmers in our church who say that your product is only as good as what you put into the soil, and the quality of the soil is going to determine the quality of the fruit. It's the same with us. Now the soil for us, and I thought about this, is the quality of who God is. God is totally and absolutely perfect. Everything He does is right. Everything He does is good. And everything He has achieved is totally and absolutely complete. There is nothing that needs to be added to His plan of salvation. There's nothing that needs to be added to who He is and His character. There is nothing. God has done everything completely and absolutely. Now, if that is true, here's our response to that. Our response is we can't improve on God. We can't improve on His promises. Our job is just to appropriate all who God is and all that God has said and all that God has for us. We can't make it work. God has made it work already on our behalf. Our job is to appropriate that which God has and is. Now, that verse in Ephesians that says that God has prepared good works for you in advance to do. So God sat down and He thought, what are the good things that I'm going to want this person I'm creating so beautifully to do? And He has given you everything. Everything is in you and everything is in Him and in His promises for you to complete that good work that God has begun in you. It's a matter of appropriating. But apparently we battle with that. We want to earn everything. Just like when the prodigal came home from having run away. And he says to his dad, Dad, I don't deserve much from you. Can I just be a slave? And you just give me a meal a day and I'll work hard and I'll churn it out in the field. If you just give me some food, I'll be delighted. And the father looks at the son and he said, we can't do that. You're not a slave. You don't have to plead and beg for everything. I'm your father and I have everything that you need. Sure, you messed up. You're not a slave, but you are a son. And therefore now behave like a son. And he took him back into the house and he said, you're not a slave. Don't behave like one. Don't think you have to earn everything. Don't think you have to work for everything. I have done it for you. Your job is just to appropriate that which I have made. Now, as I say that to you, I want to suggest to you today that there are three types of faith. The first faith is the faith that in light of all that God is and said and has promised, that the first aspect of faith is there are people that say, well, God can do this. I believe that God can do what He's asked me to do. God can produce that which is needing to produce. If I need water, God can do it. If I need food, God can do it. The God can people. That's the lowest level of faith. Are people acknowledge? Yeah, sure. I've read the Bible. I know that God can do that stuff. The second level of people that there are out there is God will people. Those people who say, well, if God can, then I'm sure if He wants to, and if I pray hard enough, then God will do those things. And they are the God will people. But the third aspect of faith are the people who say God has. God has already done it. He's prepared for you good works. He's set aside everything you need to be able to do what you need to do to fulfill His purpose. It's all there. It just needs for you to reach out and to be bold enough and to appropriate all that God has done for you. Now, let me give you a couple of quick examples. Hebrews 11 is the great chapter on faith, is it not? It's remarkable. And in there we have a certain number of examples. And it says this, by faith, Abraham. First one, Abraham, he was the one who God promised a nation. He didn't have one child, but God promised him a nation of people that would be more than the sand on the seashore, more than the stars in the sky. And Abraham believed God, and it was accounted to him as faith. He believed it before he appropriated. He believed it before he got it. but he went out and he took that which God had said he had already set aside for him, and he believed that God has already done it. That's a unique aspect of faith. Then it goes and talks about Noah. Now, it took Noah 120 years to build that ark. This is not a 3-week wonder that Noah built. 120 years of slog every single day. Noah got up and he did the same thing every day for 120 years. Why? Let me tell you why he never gave up. Let me tell you why he didn't think, did I really hear from God? Or maybe I was mistaken when I heard God. Was that God implanted in his mind a picture. And God said to Noah, everything that you need for this picture is done. It is set aside. It is already there. All you have to do is appropriate all that I have set aside for you. Isn't it incredible, people, that our faith is so strongly founded in who God is and what his promises are, that we can draw upon them and know that they are there, set aside already for us. That does something for me, to know that in my journey of life, it's not about me working harder, it's me appropriating that which God has already set aside for me. My faith is secure because my God is big and my God is able to provide everything and has already provided it for you. And so you can, let me just give it again. There's the God can people. Those people, yeah, I've read the Bible, God can do that. Then there's the God will people. Well, if God feels like it, if I pray hard enough, if I do my tithe, then I know that God will. But then there's the God has people. Man, I love meeting people like this. They stir my faith. They challenge me. They inspire me. Where they look and they say with great confidence, God has already done it. It's just a matter of me appropriating that which he has called me for the purpose for which I'm here on this planet to fulfill. Think about that, people. Now let's go and save the world.